Conversations black people aren't ready to have. Number one, Tevin Campbell's I'm Ready is a better song than Tevin Campbell's Can We Talk. Number two, Jazz from Drew Hill was always a better singer than Cisco. Cisco is just more marketable. And number three, my personal favorite, we as a collective owe Terry from Soul Food an apology because she was not the villain for taking care of that ashy, entitled ass family. Fight me in the comments if you want to. Conversations black people aren't ready to have.
Number one, the Bible and church are not therapy.
Thank you for stopping by, amazing viewer, and today's video is so interesting. It's about a conversation that black people don't want to have. They are not ready to talk about. So this video rose a lot of concern on TikTok, and right now it's trending every day. There must be a video that is uploaded, like recorded, stitching or replying to this lady who posted this video on TikTok. And right now I'll let you enjoy the rest of the video, but before then, kindly like the video, don't forget to subscribe, click that red button. Also, don't forget to turn on the bell so that whenever we have a new video you'll be notified. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video.
Conversations black people aren't ready to have. Number one, Tevin Campbell's I'm Ready.
Number one, teach your kids personal finances. Teach them about credit. Teach them about creating a savings, a personal savings, an emergency savings. Teach them how to manage their money. Teach them how to take care of themselves, not robbing Peter to pay Paul. Teach them about retirement. Teach them about 401k. Teach them about these things so that way when they're not 60 and 70 years old, they still have to work full time. Number two, do not take your child's mental health as a joke. If they need help, get them the help that they need. And if they want to go see a therapist or see a professional, do not persecute them for that. Number three, this may piss a lot of people off, but prayer is not the only way to receive help. If God put these people in place to help people get through their mental health, let these professionals help them. Prayer is not the only way to receive help. Number four, stop having your kids pay all your bills. I understand you want to teach a child responsibility, but they didn't ask to be here. The same way you were figuring it out before they got here, the same way you figure it out when they got here is the same way you should figure it out once they become an adult. It's not their job to pay your bill. It's not their job to take care of you because they didn't ask to be here. Number four, stop putting bills in your kids' name. Stop messing up their credit. If you can't pay your bills, that ain't got nothing to do with your child. If you want to be able to do better in life, work on your credit, get your shit together, and you'll be just fine. Number five, teach your kids to love themselves, and be careful be careful on the partners that you're choosing to be in your kids' life. If these individuals don't have no type of positive impact or role model in your kids' life, stop choosing them, because guess what? That's going to impact your kids. And when your kids see Tom, Dick, and Harry around them all the time, they're gonna resent you. And number six, to all the black women out here, your son is not your husband. That is your son. When he becomes an adult and he decides to date, stop pushing away every woman that he likes because she not good enough for him. That's your son, not your husband.
To have.
If you can't explain to your child why they should or shouldn't do something, you can't be surprised when they don't listen to you. Because let's really be honest with ourselves. If somebody told you to do something and you didn't know why, you probably wouldn't do it, would you? Or at the very least, you would ask that person why. And if they didn't give you a good enough reason why, or if they didn't give you a reason why at all, you would look at them like they were fucking crazy. I know you would. I know you would. But you don't give that same courtesy to your kids. Why? Exactly. You don't have a good enough reason. Like, because they're your kids? That's not a good reason. If you expect your kids to do something, you should be able to explain to your kids why they should or shouldn't do it. And no, because I told you to and threatening to hit them is not a good enough reason. Do better. Come on. Like, Jesus, that's a whole different conversation, but we're not even gonna get into that bag. Like, some of y'all only be having kids because y'all are afraid to take boxing classes. Some of y'all only be having kids because y'all know they can't hit you back. But we not getting into that video right now. That's a whole different conversation.
And number 7, when your kids get grown, get a life. Get a whole entire life. It's not your job to be telling your kids what they need to be doing when they're grown. Get a life. Don't invest all your time into your kids, and when your kids grow, you don't know what to do now because your kids is gone. Get a life.
I'm probably gonna catch a lot for this, and if this blows up, y'all gonna come in the comments for me, but you know, it needs to be said. Stop treating your son like he your husband. That's not your husband, that's your child. Stop putting more expectation on your daughter than you do your son. I've personally seen this last one with my own eyes. Stop protecting these men or these women in your family that you know are child molesters, and you know that they've got some inappropriate relationship with children in your family, and yet instead of speaking up and say something, you turn the other cheek. Oh, we're not going to talk about this. This is a big family secret. No. We need to start talking about it, and we need to start coming up and saying something, because that ruins kids. That changes kids' lives, and I've seen it with my own eyes.
At this point, I feel like it's very necessary that I also share my personal story. I might not have an American accent, but I feel like, yeah, it's something that we should really talk about. And you know, African parents don't know how we are affected. We are affected if they don't know how we are affected. And children are different. Some children are so curious, they want to know everything about them. I was one of those. I really want to know every detail about my life. And sometimes I felt like everyone in the house had baby pictures, and I never saw my baby picture. And the picture of me that I have, I'm 8. I was 8 years. So I was wondering, where's my baby picture? How come I can't see my pictures? And I didn't know, because I'd gone straight to my mom. And you know, some of these parents, they build some kind of, especially fathers. I'm addressing fathers at this point. You know, they do what they do. They kind of shut us down. Like, it's not even easy to go straight to them and speak to them. So I had gone straight to my mom and asked her, what about my baby picture? Why is that I can't see my baby picture? And what my mom told me was, just forget about it. So I kept asking, because I had a lot of questions. Yes, I can't see my baby pictures, but also when my teeth started falling off, all the teeth that are growing were bad. So I was wondering, why? I didn't even know you can see the evidence of my teeth. Like, they're just bad. So all my teeth that were growing were bad. So I was wondering, what happened to me? Why is that everyone who grows teeth in this house, after they've fallen off, they get good teeth, but I can't get good teeth? What was happening? So I started asking so many questions. I didn't know that my dad had heard me asking about such questions. And then one day he called me, not because he felt I needed to know, but because he wanted to corrupt me mentally. He wanted to tell me, like, I want you to go to a different town. Yes, it's good, it's true that I have the desire to do fashion and design, but I had to go to the capital city for me to do it. So he was using that as a way to corrupt me. So that's when he brought my medical reports, and he started showing me, you got sick since the time you were born, up to like even 1-2 years you were sick, you're like a very sick child. And I remember when I was growing up, you know, as baby, like, I come from a family of 12 children. 12, I'm saying 12. And I'm the 5th born, but my younger sister could fight with me and beat me, and I would cry. So I was very weak as a child. So yeah, when he started explaining to me and brought those medical reports, is when I started understanding. So the point I want to make here, I don't want to say, oh, I'm less of a human being. I'm not saying this for like some kind of, I'm not looking for sympathy or something, just feel good about it, because I've already moved on. So what I'm trying to communicate here, is that parents should tell their kids everything. They should communicate, because sometimes we look for truth out there, and when we are told things out there, we feel like our parents are against us because they knew the truth and they didn't tell us. So I'm not in agreement with these parents who think that hiding the truth from their children is saving them from anything. No, it's rather making them I don't know, growing up with holes inside. They want to know the truth. They grow up, but they're still finding pieces about them. You get? Yeah, and it's good that you tell your child the truth.
Sorry if I sound redundant. I just want to speak some stuff about my own experience, that when I do decide to have a family of my own, I will be trying to break these things. I think everybody said it. If you have multiple children, the oldest child is not a babysitter, nor are they second mom, nor are they second dad. If mom and dad is present, that is mom and dad. Kids should not be disciplined if they do not finish their food, maybe lessen their portions, or try a different set of foods. Obviously within reason, but I think most of us black folks, we know what I'm trying to say. If your kid is under an age where they cannot legally work, to me, there is no such thing as McDonald's money for something. Like, you're the parent, you should be providing it within reason. Do as I say, not as I do is probably the most played out reasoning for ending a conversation there ever is. I want to stump it into the ground and I want to burn it, because that just cannot be a real thing. Your girls and your boys should have a sex talk, whether together or separate. It is important that they both have it, and no, simply not having sex or not, or wrapping it up does not end the sex talk. There's a lot more nuance to that situation, and it needs to be taken with care. School is not the only place that your children should be getting educated. You need to teach your kids too. Just as you tell the girls you don't want them coming home pregnant with some little boy's baby, you should be telling your boys you should not be getting other little girls pregnant before their time. If you guys are a Christian household, y'all need to quote the entire Bible, not parts of it. Thou shalt honor their parents. Okay, but if you scroll down, it also says that you shall not provoke your child. So do with that what you will, but if we want to play the Bible game, you need to read the whole Bible and not just quote the ones, to get your point across. Your kids should be allowed to have friends, obviously within reason, but let's just think of a scenario where your kids don't have friends. You know what those tend to be? Psychopaths. Chores is everybody's job, not just the girls in your family. Stop making your little girls feel bad for being born little girls. It is totally natural for them to be tomboys if that's what they choose, just like it is totally natural for them to be into the feminine things. But stop making them feel bad for being girls because you wanted a boy, because you were taught that was quote unquote easier. That also leads into stop babying your boys, because y'all supposed to be raising men. And now every woman that he dates from that point on has to baby him or teach him how to be a man. That's not our job. Teach healthier relationships. Teach family values. But also teach that if you don't get any of those things, you should be okay with being by yourself. Don't try to force it. We're in 2023 now, but there's still some people left lingering that believe there's a thing as good hair. There's no such thing as good hair. Good hair is healthy hair, no matter the coils, no matter the thickness, no matter the height, all that. For mothers, you are not in competition with your daughters. Stop that. I don't know where that came from. I don't want to get into a debate about it. Stop that. Fathers, your only job isn't to provide and discipline. Your job is a lot more nuanced than that. Old people, I can literally go on for days, but I feel like most of us said that. Like, respect is earned, not given. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how long you've been on this earth. I don't care where you line up with me in the totem pole. You disrespect me, best believe you're gonna get disrespect back. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Number one, as black parents, when you are arguing with your kids, learn how to go to your kids and tell them when you were wrong and tell them why you were wrong. Don't never try to just dismiss the issue or dismiss the situation, because that's not going to make anything any better. Learn how to talk to your kids. Learn how to come to your kids and be like, you know what, I apologize. I was wrong. Instead of yelling at you or instead of cursing you out, I should have just sat there and listened to you while you talk. I should have just at least tried to understand you. Like, as black parents, you're not going to always agree with your kids, and your kids not going to always agree with you. But just to be able to just sit down and hear your kids out is literally all that they want from you. Not even just black parents, but in any situation, if you're arguing with somebody, learn how to come back together, sit down and talk about why y'all were arguing in the first place. Come together and learn how to talk about why it escalated. It went from here and escalated all the way up here. Learn how to talk about those things, because that's growth. That helps your relationship with people. That helps your friendships. That helps your bonds. So learn how to discuss the issue and not dismiss the issue. But that's really it. That's the only topic I feel as though I wanted to touch on when it comes to black people, because I think that's one of the main things that a lot of black people don't do and they find it hard to do. So whenever your kids try to talk to you, just sit down and listen. Like, just listen. You don't have to agree with your kids. Just listen to them and take heed into it. That is it. That's all we ask from y'all. We don't ask for nothing more. We don't ask for nothing less. Just listen.
I'm ready.
Ooh, I got a good one. Having kids when you know you don't have the money, funds, resources, support, attention to have kids, and then with the cherry on top, thinking that they somehow owe you for you bringing them into this world and you forcing them to be in this world and live a life. That's the dumbest shit that y'all, there don't even need to be a conversation. It's common sense. The next one, y'all be invalidating or like pushing away your kids' mental health because how are you depressed? You got a roof over your head, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet, food on the table, da. You ain't depressed. I don't know what you depressed about. And y'all be invalidating your kids' mental health. Another good one, red lipstick and colored hair. Now the red lipstick, I can understand if they're like really, really young, you know what I'm saying? But all kids, like not all girls, but a lot of girls play and makeup when they're younger, right? But y'all be pushing it too far when it's red lipstick and they're like 15, 16, or colored hair, as if colored hair makes you grown. Like, excuse me? Ooh, I got another good one. When you disrespect your kid and then they get upset, and then you get mad that they're upset or have an attitude with you, and then try to call them disrespectful. Another good one, y'all's definition of disrespectful when it comes to kids. Y'all think that kids or even your adult children or people around you are just supposed to take and tolerate your disrespect, and the moment that they say something to your ass, now all of a sudden, oh, you being disrespectful, you y'all, this what y'all need to do. Oh, I got another good one. When y'all let the family pedophile stay in the family, come to all the family events, but then y'all be kicking out y'all daughters after one little inconvenience, or they don't listen to you or something like that. That's a good one. But again, there's so much I could say on this. I'm gonna stop right here. Just for time's sake.
1, we have no idea what it means to be unified as a race. 2, we're too accepting and inviting of other people to our shit when our shit not even all the way ours for. 3, a lot of black kids are held to a standard and an expectation to perform and execute at a certain level of proficiency when their parents or their community or their village did not even equip them with the knowledge to even be successful to do that. 4, people be too thirsty to gather for bullshit before they be ready to gather for business. 5, too large of a number of successful black people like to gatekeep because they develop an elitist mindset, even down to little shit like being able to travel a lot and having a passport. 6, there's not enough accountability when it comes to why so many family structures are not solid and why so many people just choose to not deal with their families in general. 7, there's not enough financial literacy being taught in most black households.
Having an older child doesn't mean you automatically have a babysitter for your other younger kids while you go do what you want to do. The color red isn't grown, it's a color. A girl being interested in cosmetics, nails, makeup, all of that, that's just them being a girl. That's not being promiscuous or fast. That's just them being interested in what normal girls are interested in. You still can have limitations set if they try to explore that. Like, it's not like full-blown lashes and just a long acrylic, so you can still have limitations. If you gotta tell your child to change their clothes because this person coming over, that means that person shouldn't be up. Because why do you only trust that person around your child if they're wearing this specific type of clothing? That's weird. Purposefully provoking your kids, and then when they reciprocate your energy, you want to pull that honor thy mother card. That's manipulation. Respecting elders only goes so far. And what I mean by that is, if you're an elder and you disrespect, you're no longer entitled to that respect. The same way you want respect, you have to give it. Your age doesn't justify you disrespect. That's weird. Being mad strict, you don't let your child do nothing, go to no movies, don't do nothing. That child is gonna grow up mad wild. Stop kicking y'all kids out just because they're 18. Just because they're 18, that doesn't mean they're financially and mentally ready to be out there by themselves. The only reason why a child will want to leave a household as soon as possible is because of you. Stop calling your kid grown when you literally forced them to be grown in the first place. And what I mean by that is they watching your kids while you go do what you want. Make sure they eat, make sure they take baths, make sure they set for the night. Whole time it's supposed to be a person doing that for them. But you put them in that position to be independent and make sure everything else gets done in the house. You're literally forcing them to grow up. Now, when they get older and they start acting grown, it's a problem. Stop.
Your kids have the right to go no contact with you for allowing that family member that they have to go upstairs and change for in and around the house. They have the right to cut ties with you for allowing that one family member that you do not want them to babysit alone, but you still let around them. They have the right to not want to maintain a relationship with you for allowing that one person who we know committed a specific type of crime in the home, but nobody in the family wants to discuss it at all. They have the right to want to distance themselves because you made them feel like it was their fault for having been a target, a prey to this one person who we all know did what the fuck they did. They have the right to get away from you for allowing this person to continuously prey within the family. Deal with that.
Conversations black people aren't ready to have.
Gina never looked better than Pam. She was just light-skinned. OJ fucking did it. Hennessy is fucking disgusting. We're not paying $60 black businesses for a t-shirt.
I'm glad you watched to this extent. I'm so glad that you tuned in. If you're pressing by for the first time, stay with us. And if you're my returning subscriber, so much love. I appreciate your time.